Hello, happy Wednesday. I'm like, we're halfway through the month, halfway through the week. It is hump day celebration. All right, guys, like I posted earlier today, I have a friend, Vivian, coming on today. She has, as you see, a list of a lot of amazing things that she does, a lot of things I'm interested in. The akashic records, she does tantra healing, intuitive coaching, so many things. So I asked her to come on and share a little bit about her story. I know watching her this year, she's had a lot of people that has transitioned, and so I want to say lost, but a lot of people that has transitioned in her lives and within a matter of so many months, and yet I still see her smile and hope, which is how I believe it should be. And so her spirit pulled me and says, hey, talk to Vivian. So she's going to come on today. I'm getting ready to get her on the camera right now. And once you jump in, if you have any questions or you just want to say hello, feel free to say hello. All right. And drum roll. And there
Hi.
she is. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can. Let's see if we can hear you good. Let's see. Can you speak again?
Can you hear me good?
Yes, now I can. Yes.
Okay, because I can get my I have a mic. Do I need my mic?
Well, right now we don't have to, but if you think it'll help, you can go ahead and put it on.
Okay, let me put my mic on.
Okay, no problem. While she does that, I'm going to see if I can go ahead and request. Let's see. All right, no. All right, well, I was going to see if I can request other people to come on. I know, where are you located at, Vivian?
I'm in California.
Okay,
The beautiful
yeah, so
California.
yes, I have a sister that's there that lives in LA.
Okay. Well, I'm from LA, but I live up in the Inland Empire.
Okay. Oh, nice. I don't know anything about California except for what she shows me on her camera, like when she goes hiking on the Banyan, I think it's called. She's always up there. Yeah.
Could you hear me?
All right. Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you before.
Oh gosh, I can't hear you. That's not gonna work. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. I know there's a thing with the mic that I use too. I use a mic. And when I'm doing videos like this, I can hear, but when I get on a call, there's no back and forth. That's okay. We can hear you good. This is good. All right. Well, thank you again for taking time to come on. It is here in Central Florida. It's 5:41, so a lot of people are getting home, and it's gonna take a moment for people to jump on. But whenever they catch it later, on those who are jumping on now, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself and some of the things that you're doing.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes.
I appreciate you asking me to come. Well, some of the things I'm doing. One of the main things I'm doing right now is helping women empower themselves through tantric energy, through the kundalini energy.
Okay.
It's something very important to me. I do akashic readings. I actually heal myself sometime on a daily basis.
Yes, ma'am.
Through the akashic records.
Yes.
I do a lot of past life regressions on myself, sometimes on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I do lots of healing on myself because I'm kind of like a frontliner for my family.
Yes.
I come from a family of 11, okay? And I'm doing frontline healing for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of like the baby of the family, and I'm doing like all this healing. I work with my ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
They literally walk me through life daily. It's really, really intense with me.
Mm-hmm.
I do, another thing I do is I really don't do too much card reading right now because I have been doing like literally so much healing daily. They're preparing me for something. So I'm going through something like a fast-paced healing.
Mm-hmm.
which literally almost everyday traumas are coming out of me. Sometimes my body get a break because my body need one.
Yes.
So the type of healing that I do for myself, I do on others when I can literally, it's like a movie in my head. I go back into my life, or I can hear the energy that's in my body. I speak to energy. Energy talks to me. If
Yeah.
it's something going on, like it's an illness, I can hear it.
Yeah.
You know, I know what's going on. So I do so much healing on myself. And I know that the healing that I'm doing on myself is for others,
Yes.
not only to help people, but it's just expanding the world more.
Yeah.
If
Well,
that makes
yesterday,
sense.
yes, absolutely. My guest yesterday and my friend Willow was on, and she does a lot of womb healing, and she does a lot of healing generally all over. I don't want to just specify her to that yoni and womb healing, but that was something that we hit on yesterday, and something that I feel from her very strongly too that she's working with. And like I was saying, that a lot of the times when we're doing the healing from this area and from that space, and from the chakra, any of that, we're healing from ancestral and back on, and also whatever, even if you've had children already, the children that has already passed through there and what's to pass through theirs is also being healed as well. So I absolutely believe in that, and understand that. So that kind of answers too a little bit of question for me. I was saying before you came on that I noticed in the last couple of months that you've had a lot of people transition in your life. I've seen you post almost every other week, it feels like, and I'm like, oh, my heart feels heavy for you at times. But I also standing that knowing that you're being guided, like you said, you're being prepared for something. I believe we all are. Okay, those
Yes,
who
we are.
and those
We
who
are.
are attuned in and listen to feels the direct connection with that getting readiness, and those who are not feels confused and like, what the hell is happening, because they're not in tune with it, right? But when you are in tune with it, you know what's happening. And so you kind of answered my question a little bit. I was just getting ready to ask you, but if you can expand on that, is that some of the things that has been helping you to carry on and to have strength, and to like this knowing that everything is still in like God's source plan anyways, and this is the way it's supposed to be, so that gives you that strength, I want to say.
Okay, so what happens when people pass on? Most of our family members come to me
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, Vivian, I did not know you had so much light around you.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. So it's really hard because in the midst of grieving, they're talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
They respect me and they they stand their distance from me,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really tough. So what I did, okay, so my brother passed, okay?
I've seen that, yes.
And so what, my brother was not ready to go. It was all of
Wow.
a sudden passing, okay?
Okay.
So what happened when my brother passed is I stood in a gap for him and I helped him heal in the midst of him going crossing over. I grieved for him.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I would scream and cry, it was him screaming through me.
Oh, wow. Yes.
So all the grief was not just mine, it was them asking me, can they use my body to help him heal
Wow.
so he could be able to go to this place, and he had to be in this sitting area
Yes.
until he healed completely. But he couldn't even
Wow.
cross over because he was like, Vivian, I want to come back. I'm not ready. So he was asking people to bring him back.
Wow.
And it was so sad because, I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I want to help.
Yeah.
I want to bring you back,
Yeah.
but we can't bring you back
Right.
because this is what you chose.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I couldn't bring him back. So I had to grieve for him. So when we was at the funeral and they seen me screaming and crying and saying, why now? Why now? It was not even me. It was him
Wow.
screaming through me saying, why now? Why now? I'm not ready for this. But
Yeah.
they didn't know that it was not him. So to answer your question, my guides give me so much strength through this. They carry me. The more they like surround me. They surround me, and I work with the Galactic Federation of Light. Us have them,
Yes, ma'am.
And so what I have this guy with the Galactic Federation of Lights called Rasa. He's like my daddy because I did not have, I love my daddy, but I had to heal my relationship with him.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I replaced Rasa with my daddy.
Yeah.
Even though he can't replace him, but
I know what you mean.
He's just helping me
I know what
heal.
you mean. Yeah, he's that masculine male figure that stepped in.
He's that masculine
to do
male
that
figure.
healing. Yeah.
So here's the thing about Rasa. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Rasa is male and female.
Okay.
But with me, I resonate more with the male side of him. So Rasa changes like this. This is how Rasa changes. One part of him is male, one part of him is female.
Like
okay, so the part that is male, the part that is male with Rasa is alien.
Okay.
The part that is female is angel.
Wow. I love that.
So he switches on and off. So when he first came to me, because he have real bright energy, like powerful energy. So when he first came to me, it scared the HE double hockey sticks out because it was so bright. It's not even where the human mind can even comprehend.
I understand that.
So when Rasa came to me, first I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. I'm like loving it.
Yes.
And then when my ego kicked in, I said, who in the heck are you?
Yeah.
Are you evil? So then I started telling Rasa to stay away from me because I was scared. Like, oh my gosh, because it was too much for the human mind to even comprehend, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And so what happened was he know that I love light beings. Of course, they're going to know. So he came to me one time and sat on the side of my bed, and he's really tall. Like literally, he can fill up like a whole park. That's how big he is.
Yeah.
And so he came to me and he was like tall, like to my ceiling, and I have really high ceilings. And I said, oh my God, I have a light being in the room. And I was just so excited. I didn't know that was Rasa. I didn't know that was the same person came to me 3 nights ago when I was like, get away from me.
Yes.
And so I was just like so overwhelmed with his powerful energy and stuff. And he was talking to me and he told me that he explained to me, this is how they work with all of us have it. He's a counselor. Okay. And he's over my case on earth. And he showed me folders. Okay. And he opened up the folders and he said, I'm over your case. And he said, you have a team, and everybody have this, but everybody just have different team members.
Yes.
Like I have a team of 12.
Yes.
It's Rasa, the council, and then I have my team of 12 that works with Rasa.
Yes.
One of my team members is actually a dragon. Okay. But not to get into all of this, but they're all different types of light beams. And so they all came and they stood around my bed. When they stood around my bed, it scared me. So Rasa had them to stand up against the window. When they stood against the window, I was able to just, they distance from me because I was more connected with Rasa because he felt so much like my daddy. And so throughout the months, he would work with me a lot, and my team would just stand up against the window. And then they would come to me one by one and introduce themselves sometimes when I'm able to handle them. So they came little by little. So this has been going on. Like I've been working with Rasa for a year, which always been working with us, our beings.
Aware or unaware.
Exactly. We're unaware.
Whether you're aware or unaware, they're working with us. They are.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And so when he came to me to introduce himself to me, my energy level shot up like a rocket. Like I went literally into 5D. Like I had this big activation and I shot up and I changed. I literally changed. The day he came and introduced himself to me, I changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what happens when they come in and introduce themselves to you.
Yeah.
You're going to shift.
Yeah, that's a great, you just made me think of a whole bunch of different experiences that I've had too also where when one of the first time I remember one of my angels showing up to, I was in a school job corps and I was in the room with three roommates. As a matter of fact, I interviewed one of my roommates that I was in there with me, and But at the time, I had got really involved in the church, and so I was like this church girl in the room, and everybody, I felt so alone at that time because I would be even made fun of because of the way I would be studying in the Bible all the time, and like as soon as I woke up, I was showered and in my Bible as soon as school was finished. And so I remember somebody put, and the other thing was I would smoke cigarettes. And so I was hiding smoking my cigarettes because the people at church were saying, you're not going to be holy if you don't stop smoking cigarettes. And I had the people who were saying, you're trying to be all holy or whatever, but you're not holy. So I was in this space, like, God, all I'm trying to do is learn about you and love you and serve you. And I was laying on my bed, and there was a dresser, my locker was right next to my bed. And I remember a white being, like you described just now, tall, like I always said 40 feet is what came to me then, and let me know that this angel was 40 feet, and the light. And the angel said to me, just continue doing what you're doing. Just continue loving.
Oh my God.
That was I remember having a peace then after. And shortly after that visit, every one of my roommates became my friends. And they didn't start going to church, but there was this peace amongst us all in the room too, And then another time, the angels I've had where people who can see also say they see my team amongst me and will announce sometimes who the team members are around me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But one of the most changing visits I've had like that was when I was in the hospital with my daughter. And I was, again, still in the church and everything very much and committed to what I was learning and like what they were teaching. And so I was brought up Hindu and Christian. My mom allowed me to choose, but I had put away my Hindu beliefs because, I wanted to go to heaven. And so I remember laying on the couch. I remember laying on the couch in the hospital, and this lady came in to clean the room. And she's supposed to do a whole complete wipe down from the walls and everything. She ran out the room, and like I didn't see her again till the next day. And she came up to me in the hallway and she said, I'm a Catholic, and so I don't know, but is there an Indian god that's an elephant? And I went because that's one of Shiva and Ganesh have always had a connection growing up when I was little too. And so I was like, yes, there is an Indian god that's an elephant. She goes, well, last night I seen this huge light come from you and an Indian god like elephant standing next to you, and it made me so scared I had to run out the room. I was like, that's why you didn't clean my room last night, okay? And then she's talking to me and she goes, and there's another one next to you now and she described Lakshmi to me.
Oh,
and I was just like,
I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills while you're talking.
I can't deny it anymore. And at the time I had a lot of elephant jewelry and owl jewelry and things that represent my guides, and I was not even aware of it. So what you're saying, I understand, I resonate, and I believe all of us have teams of, and a lot of us are becoming so aware of now. There is way more aware of what's happening than those who are not anymore.
Way more than it ever been. I thought I was
so we can identify and hold each other's hands. Yes, I'm sorry.
We have to hold each other's hands and hold each other up. I felt so alone. I felt so alone for so long. And it seems like I went to the Abraham Hicks group, and it's just dominoes where I just met everybody who was conscious, and it was a beautiful thing. And I was
an explosion right there.
It exploded. I was listening to Abraham, and I was still in, I was listening to Abraham and still in church, and I'm like trying to find people that had the mindset because nobody had the mindset. And I was like, I said, maybe she have a group. So I found the meetup group, which I didn't want to go to because I was going through awakening because I was kind of like hermit, but I didn't know nothing about awakening, but I was in hermit mode, and this was years ago.
Yeah.
And then I found her group on Facebook. It was over. It was over.
Which group are you in? Is it the Abraham Vortex group?
I don't know now. I don't know now because I'm not really active in the groups no more. I don't know because it
I found mine going to a Hay House conference, and they kept talking about Louise Hay. I'm like, who is Louise Hay? And I heard the first video I heard from her, I was like, oh my God, you're who I am desiring to be like I felt like she was my soul sister. And I started, and every video she would talk about Abraham Hicks. Now, it had been a couple of years before I went to this conference, and Abraham Hicks video crossed, and I was like, okay, it's nice, but I didn't, full feel the. So that she kept talking about Abraham Hicks, and so I went to go look, and the first video, I was like, this is not a natural human being. This is something beyond this, because the way they communicate, I got it.
I didn't even know.
And
yes,
so then I
my
went to go
soul.
look up, yeah, and see, and I was like, oh my God, people are gonna think I'm crazy when they listen to if I told them who I'm listening to, and she's referring to as they, and I was like, you know what, I don't care what people, and
then she go into her, and then she go into the Abraham Hicks.
I was like a sponge. I started soaking up, and the same thing happened. From the videos, one of the videos ended, and it advertised on Facebook, and he became actually a really good friend of mine too, Willie, who runs the Abraham Hicks page. So I've met a lot of my friends on my page from that page and from Hay House too. So that's pretty cool.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so, what Abraham group are you in?
And just like 2 or 3, I went and cut off a whole bunch of them. I stayed just in like 3 of them, and I think the Abraham group Vortex, which is Willie's group, the Abraham Abundance, and then there's one more Abraham group that I'm in that I've been seeing posting, but I only post in one, and that's in Willie's group, and I used to in Abundance a little bit, yeah. But
because I'll probably end up joining, because I want to expand more and get people to know me. And certain groups I'm really like leery about. I'm just not into all of these groups and giving my energy to all these groups. So that's why I was asking you, what group are you in?
Yeah. So
I didn't even know about your group. I didn't know about this group.
I could have swore, because I posted and that's so funny to me, because I post it every day on my regular page, or when I do these videos, I said having a meet, and so, but I know the algorithm, how it works on Facebook, not everybody sees that all the time too, so that I understand.
I don't see any of your posts, and it's really, that's a whole nother story, but we don't have to get into
it'll
that.
Probably start
maybe we'll
happening
talk about
now,
that
though. Yeah, it'll probably start happening now, because we're communicating. But okay, so something else I want to touch on in the title that I put that you do was the Tantric. What is a Tantric Master? What is a Tantric Master? What do you do being a Tantric Master? And how do you help other people with that gift?
Okay, so one thing about being a Tantric Master is I am really connected with the Yoni Tantric. My husband, we do Tantric, and I do Tantric by myself, because I believe that I am my first lover. Absolutely. We're not taught that. Yeah. We're taught it's wrong.
Yeah.
To connect with yourself.
Not my mom. Growing up, my mom would tell in front of my friends, and I would be like, oh lady, please stop. But
your mom is amazing.
Yes, she is. I didn't find that out until later on.
I seen your mother. I seen a picture of her. I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God, your mom is amazing. I could see it in her face.
Thank you. I hope she sees that too. Go ahead.
And so what I do is, okay, so like tell you my story. I was raised in church. Basically, I mean, I was in church forever. And so I was taught that when you connect with yourself, I don't even know if it's okay to say it on Facebook nowadays, because they
just say it. That's okay.
Okay, so when you do masturbation, okay, that it is a sin.
Right. I remember that.
Okay, so what happens is that they tell you to only connect with your husband. And if you're and your husband is upset, if he want it, you still give it to him.
Yeah, bullshit. Go ahead.
Okay, and so they have the women to cover
a very submissive, even sexual life. They expect that's what they.
I want to share something with you about that. Okay.
Yeah.
They have women to cover up, to only show their husband their bodies. Okay. So what I found out later on was this is something that has been taken from us hundreds and hundreds of decades ago, like probably even more. I don't even know. Probably
Yes.
when humans first started, I don't know. Okay,
Yeah.
so the power of sexuality, when they do that to women, they denounce themselves
Mm-hmm.
because they are part of that. Not only do they denounce themselves, but they denounce the power of God that is in them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you can be submissive and be sexual at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
They're teaching you to actually, to me, to accept abuse. They're
I
teaching women to accept control.
mm-hmm.
So when they get out into the real world, they are able to control them. And it's just all part of this greater plan that is happening in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because women are powerful beings. There
Ooh.
was a time in life where women was the warriors and the men was at home.
Yeah.
And I am nowhere nearby a feminist, because in all honesty, I hope don't no feminists see this, but if you do, this is just my truth. I am not in agreement totally with feminists.
Same. Yeah, it's very thin line. Yeah.
It's a very thin line.
Yeah.
For the simple fact, I agree with women being empowered.
Absolutely.
But I do feel like male is very important. I'm not going to try to overpower the male.
Balance. Yes, there is a balance.
It's a balance.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm not going to overpower the male, because the male have its own beautiful gifts that he have brought into the world that we can treasure, and the woman have her own beautiful gifts that she have brought into the world that we can treasure. There's no reason for me to go and try to take a man's job, because a man is a man and a woman is a woman. And if I diss a man, I'm dissing myself, because the man is within me.
Yes, absolutely.
The male and the female is within me. So I'm going to honor and respect the male as I honor and respect myself.
Yes.
So the reason why I'm teaching women to empower themselves in a feminine, not feminist, feminine way, is because the feminine energy is very powerful.
Yes.
When you connect with the tantric energy, it will rewire your whole brain.
Yes.
And I'm just going to leave that right here.
Okay, well, good. Ooh, that's really, really powerful. Go ahead. Say what you want to say, and then I'm just going to add a little piece onto that.
It will connect your soul to God.
Yes. Okay.
It will connect you to the whole universe. The universe is within you, but you have not activated that universe that is within you, because you are shamed by sex. You have sex shame on you. Man. And that's why we shame other women, and that's why we're challenging other women. Yeah. Because we're challenged within ourselves sexually.
Lady, we're gonna have to do a whole nother show on this again. I would love to talk, but I just want to talk on something that you just said there too. That I remember the first time becoming very aware of how sexual energy, and actually in particular an orgasm, was connection directly to God, and why
directly to God.
Either addicted to it. They thought they were addicted to sex, but they were trying to find a connection through God a lot of times when people are addicted to sex. And then, of course, you know, like I said, it's such a wide open conversation we can have about that for a long time. But
I would love
what you just said right there, yes, I would too. I would love to continue this on too. But something that you just said right there that's very powerful, that I think is a really good way to close off tonight, is when you are shamed, like you said, shamed of that connection right there, you walk out into the world and that is in you. You know, you ever seen a woman who is just like bold, not rude, like you said, but very proud of her femininity, and her masculine and feminine is balanced? Then, so, you know what I mean? She carries that knowing, that power within her.
And I love them.
Yes,
I'm like,
it's because they're
been all my life?
Yes, the connection within that sexual energy. That sexual energy is so powerful.
So powerful.
So powerful. That is why.
So it changes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We should do another video on this, because there's so much that I could share. We could talk about.
We can go back and forth. I would love to. Yes, because I was going to say, I'm so particular and would rather not sleep with anyone unless it is something with a connection that is more, because that connection right there, it's so, I've realized how powerful it can continue out your day, throughout your life, throughout your experience and interactions with other people too.
So much to
So
add
it is
on to
very
that.
important, and I would love to expand more on that with you too. Okay, so
And one thing that I would like to tell you is the sad thing about in the world is I would hate to say, but probably 95 to 98% of women is not connected. It's so
yeah.
many. It's so
No,
many.
I want to correct that. I think now, to speak from my experience, and maybe it can be of what we are involved around, so more of what we see. I see so many more women that are. I really
I
do.
see
I see
so
so
many
many more
because
people.
it was
Go
almost
ahead.
all the women. It was almost all the women was like this.
Yeah.
But I see
Yes.
so many where it's down maybe to 95, but it's a lot of women that is
And let me
not
tell you,
connected with their sexuality.
we think it's
When you
now that they're becoming connected. This has been going on for centuries. There have been the women who are connected, who is there in different parts of the world for those who are ready to hear the message. You understand? So there are now what it is, if they're not connected, there's a lot more of us who are ready to be
it's a
connected
lot more
and who is open.
is connected, and
Yes.
it's a lot more that is ready. And God
Yes.
is bringing me out to be a leader to help these women and guide them.
Yes, I was just going to say, so you standing in your power, you living your truth for you will attract those who are around you on that, on
Who's
ready in
ready?
that frequency to receive, yes, to receive what you are offering. So that is a good way also, again, to end it. I was just going to say, somebody were interested into reaching out to you into what type of healing. And then when we're finished, if you would put the links to your website and to your page, however someone can reach you, and why would they reach out to you?
Well, I work right now. I'm working with women. I feel led to connect with women,
Okay.
and if they are ready, they have to be ready. Okay, to be ready to connect with themselves, because I work teaching them how to connect with themselves. The way I work with women is I do not have this protocol. It's each person have their own recipe.
Intuitively.
Intuitively, okay? And I help them connect with themselves with their tantric energy, and I help them and I show them how to heal themselves through the power of tantric sexuality.
Nice.
Okay?
Yes.
And it's intuitively, and they can reach out to me, Vivian Padilla or Vivian D. Padilla. I have a page, Vivian D. Padilla and Vivian Padilla. And I will put my links up down there.
Okay.
Well,
right.
Wherever.
Yeah, yeah. All right. And then some of the reasons, like you're saying, like if they were just, it's an intuitively coaching that you would do, whether it be the tantric, akashic records, whatever form that she has the list on the flyer that I put on there
Yes,
too.
the
There's a
stuff that
couple
I
of
do.
things. Yeah, and then I think your website expands a little bit more on that too. So if anybody's interested
Yes.
and wants to know more about our conversation, which we are going to set aside another time just to have some about the tantric, because that is a huge field that is
It's
being
amazing.
revealed right now. That's very powerful also. And just
It's very powerful.
I feel every aspect that we can tap into to help bring awareness so that we can change our lives, that that we're living right now. Not everybody wants to maybe say, I have such a horrible life, but there are things in your life that we want to change spiritually, emotionally, physically. And these tools
You've
that
been
I'm talking to
abused,
people.
a lot of abuse, a lot of
Yes.
women being abused, a lot of women is working, needing help with their
verbally.
root chakra.
Yes.
Their root chakra,
Yes.
I can really, that will really help bring that together. Traumas,
Yeah.
wanting to have a baby. Some women are struggling to
Yeah.
have a baby. This can help them with relationships, with so many different things. It can really help
Yes.
them.
I love that.
So I
All
really
right, Vivian,
appreciate you
thank you
having
so
me on.
much for joining me. We're going to talk again soon. Yes. We're going to talk soon. We'll set up another date for you to come on, and we'll make that specifically for the Tantra, okay? All right. Thank you again for joining me. Blessings. Okay. Oh my goodness. As always, thank you so much. I love that talk. I love the topics that we talked about, because those are something that I still study in, still further my research and awareness in. Thank you so much, everybody who joined us today. If there's anything that you have questions for Vivian, she is going to leave her links at the bottom. And also her name should be tagged on the title somewhere up there. You can click on her name to ask more questions. I have a lot of amazing guests coming on next week. I'm so excited about all what's happening. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Elijah. I think it's I don't want to say podcast, but I will send it to All Things Possible so you guys can see us too. All right, everybody have a great Wednesday. Happy hump day to you, and I will see you soon. Blessings.